"I'm not a perfect person," Sean Combs once said, and that statement might just be the understatement of the decade. Known to the world as Diddy, this hip-hop mogul has built an empire filled with music, fashion, and controversy. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a turbulent story that has made him one of the most polarizing figures in the industry. From his rise to fame to the legal battles that have captured headlines, today we delve into the complex world of Sean Combs, the most hated black billionaire. A shocking downfall. Sean Combs, famously known as Diddy, is one of the music industry's titans, a multi-Grammy-winning producer whose name is synonymous with hip-hop's rise to prominence. Known for his empire of record labels, business ventures, and lavish lifestyle, Combs seemed untouchable. But in September, that image cracked as he was arrested in a New York hotel on charges that shook his fans and colleagues alike. Accusations of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation for prostitution flooded the media, painting a dark portrait of the music mogul. The charges against him, filed by the Southern District of New York, allege that Combs used his position in the music industry to create a criminal network dedicated to exploiting women and others for his personal gain. The high-profile arrest signaled that Combs's future, once lined with platinum records, would now involve courtrooms and legal battles. Inside the charges. Combs faces 3 major charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation for purposes of prostitution. These allegations, if proven, could result in sentences of up to life in prison. The indictment laid out shocking details of his so-called freak-offs, sexually explicit parties allegedly orchestrated by Combs, where victims were manipulated, threatened, and coerced into performing acts against their will. Drugs, long hours, and exploitation were allegedly all part of these produced sessions, while Combs wielded his influence to enforce compliance. Among the charges are also allegations that Combs employed violence and threats to maintain control, using his music empire's resources to intimidate, manipulate, and silence those who might expose him. His arrest, followed by a cascade of lawsuits, suggests an even wider net of alleged victims and criminal acts. The Wave of New Accusations. Since his arrest, the allegations against Combs have grown, drawing in an astonishing number of people willing to testify against him. As of October, attorney Tony Busby reported that more than 3,280 individuals contacted his firm with accusations, 120 of whom have decided to proceed with lawsuits. These individuals range from men to women, adults to minors, and claim incidents stretching back to the 1990s. Many of the allegations paint a picture of deep-seated abuse within Combs's circle, and as these cases emerge, Busby suggests that there may be more perpetrators involved. The list of co-conspirators is expected to include high-profile names, fueling public curiosity and speculation as to who might be implicated in the case. Diddy's defense. Combs's legal team has vehemently denied all charges, asserting that the prosecution's narrative is deeply flawed. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, argues that Combs has cooperated fully with the investigation, even relocating to New York in anticipation of his arrest. Agnifilo has expressed frustration at what he views as an unjust prosecution, stressing that Combs is imperfect but not criminal, and that they plan to prove his innocence in court. Meanwhile, in the public eye, Combs' reputation remains polarizing. While some continue to support him, citing his history of success and influence, others are disillusioned by the disturbing allegations. With more cases surfacing, Combs' defense team faces an uphill battle to counter both legal charges and a fierce public backlash. The alleged freak-off parties. Central to the indictment are accusations that Combs orchestrated drug-fueled sexual events, referred to in legal documents as freak-offs. Allegedly, Combs hosted elaborate gatherings where controlled substances were distributed to keep participants compliant, facilitating acts of physical and emotional abuse. Prosecutors claim these freak-offs were documented in recordings made by Combs, and they sometimes spanned multiple days. The events reportedly exhausted participants to the point of needing IV fluids for recovery. The indictment adds that during raids on Combs's properties, authorities confiscated over 1,000 bottles of lubricants and other materials allegedly tied to these events. The first wave of allegations. Filed anonymously, these cases involved both male and female victims, with plaintiffs using the pseudonyms Jane Doe and John Doe. The allegations included claims of Diddy molesting a teenage boy, a case that shook the public's perception of the music industry icon. One John Doe from North Carolina alleged that at the age of 16, he was molested by Combs at one of his infamous white parties in the 1990s, in a chilling moment that allegedly began as a discussion about entering the music business. Dark allegations of rape and coercion. The lawsuits unveiled a series of disturbing incidents involving alleged coercion and violence. In one case from 2004, a Jane Doe accused Combs of a brutal hotel room rape, during which he allegedly coerced her friend to perform a sexual act on him. According to her claim, Combs issued deadly threats to the two women, promising fatal consequences if they resisted. Another Jane Doe alleged that Combs drugged her, rendering her defenseless, before subjecting her to sexual assault. These accusations suggested a recurring pattern in Combs' alleged behavior, painting a haunting picture of abuse marked by intimidation, fear, and suppression. Retaliation for a two-pack comment. One of the most shocking lawsuits against Combs described a terrifying case of retaliation. In California, a woman claimed that Combs assaulted her as punishment for her comment suggesting his involvement in the murder of rap icon Tupac Shakur. Her lawsuit alleged that during a video call arranged by a friend of Combs, she stated that she was not impressed with him, citing suspicions about his link to Tupac's death. Shortly afterward, Combs allegedly threatened her, saying she would pay for her words. According to court documents, he later appeared unannounced at her friend's home, holding a knife to her face, allegedly threatening to carve a Glasgow smile. In a harrowing recount, she claimed Combs then raped her using a television remote, adding a horrific new layer to the abuse allegations. She also alleged that he threatened to harm her and her family if she went public with the assault. Combs' response to the allegations. In response to the growing controversy, Combs' representatives strongly denied the allegations. A public statement from his team insisted that he emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. They argued that the accusations lacked merit and labeled the situation a reckless media circus. Combs expressed his willingness to clear his name in court, emphasizing that the truth would be established through evidence rather than speculation. His legal team maintained a firm stance that the claims were meritless, describing the allegations as part of a wider effort to undermine his legacy and reputation. Previous allegations resurface. This was not the first time Combs faced serious accusations of abuse and misconduct. In November 2023, his former girlfriend, R&B artist Cassie, filed a lawsuit that accused Combs of human trafficking, sexual assault, and frequent violence during their 10-year relationship. In her allegations, Cassie claimed that Combs often plied her with drugs, trafficked her, and subjected her to physical and emotional abuse. This case was quickly settled out of court, with the settlement details remaining confidential. However, a subsequent release of hotel security footage added weight to Cassie's claims, capturing Combs allegedly assaulting her. In response to this footage, Combs issued a public apology, referring to his behavior as inexcusable and expressing regret, though he continued to deny the specific allegations made in Cassie's lawsuit. Allegations from the early 2000s. The list of allegations continued to grow as more individuals came forward. In May, a former model filed a lawsuit claiming that Combs sexually assaulted her in 2003 at his New York City recording studio. Joey Dickerson-Neal filed a lawsuit alleging that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted her while she was a psychology student at Syracuse University in January 1991, claiming he filmed the attack. Another woman, who was a fashion student at the time, also alleged that Combs assaulted her in the early 2000s. Additionally, in February, a music producer accused Combs of coercing him into soliciting prostitutes and pressuring him into sexual acts. Accusations involving Combs' associates and family. Allegations against Combs even extended to his associates and family. In one lawsuit, a woman accused Combs' son of assaulting her aboard a yacht chartered by Combs himself. The plaintiff alleged that Combs' son had spiked her drink and groped her. The lawsuit claimed that Combs had set up the situation that led to the alleged assault and had later paid to cover it up. Both Combs and his son have denied any wrongdoing, but the incident raised questions about the culture within Combs' inner circle. Additionally, singer Don Richard, who had been one of Combs' protégés, accused him of years of psychological and physical abuse, including multiple incidents of groping. Richard's lawsuit detailed a complex relationship with Combs, in which she described feeling. Other allegations since the arrest. One of the plaintiffs, Thalia Graves, claims that Combs and his head of security raped her and recorded the act without her consent at his studio. The second woman, who is identified only as Jane Doe, alleges that she was repeatedly raped and drugged at Combs' homes. She contends that she became pregnant following one of these encounters, but later suffered a miscarriage after allegedly being pressured by Combs' associates to undergo an abortion. In response to these allegations, Combs' lawyer issued a statement to TMZ, asserting that the music mogul has never engaged in sexual assault or trafficking. The lawyer emphasized that no number of lawsuits could alter the truth, expressing confidence that Combs would prevail in court against what they describe as baseless claims. Combs has publicly decried the allegations, previously labeling them as sickening and suggesting that his accusers are merely seeking financial gain. In a statement from December, he firmly denied the accusations, asserting, "Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." When is P. Diddy's trial? Sean Diddy Combs is scheduled to go on trial on May 5, 2025, at a Manhattan federal court. During the hearing, he showed affection towards his family by blowing kisses to his mother and children, and he embraced each of his lawyers. Combs will remain at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn until the trial begins. His team proposed a $50 million bail package, complete with house arrest at his Florida mansion, GPS monitoring, and stringent visitor limitations. However, the prosecution argued strongly against his release, with evidence of past intimidation tactics against witnesses, including threats to release private videos if they exposed his conduct. Despite his legal team's insistence that Combs poses no threat, the judge ruled that his release would endanger the community and possibly lead to witness tampering. This decision has not only kept Combs behind bars, but has intensified media scrutiny on the rapper's lifestyle and influence. It was a harsh reminder that even the powerful can find themselves isolated and awaiting justice. Do you think the criticisms against him are justified? Or is he simply misunderstood? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for future stories that explore the fascinating lives of iconic figures.